We got Kerbeus and Roktavor. It's time to get turbo! So today for our Beyblade show, we're going to be taking a look at the Roktavor R4 2-pack that comes with Thorns X Minoboros M4 and the Kerbeus K4 2-pack that comes with the Blizzard X Gaion G4. So we're going to take a look at both of these, compare it to the original, etc, etc, etc. And yeah, let's get started. So moving on to our first 2-pack, we're going to be taking a look at Roktavor R4, which is Crash Roktavor, D52, which is 11, and then after we have got TS13-S, which is the Slingshock version of Wedge. We also have Thorn X Minoboros M4, which is D44 TD03-S, which I believe that should be Needle-Slingshock version. So it also comes with 0 for this. What's really interesting also is that this Roktavor is very, very different from the previous version of it, but I'll get to that in a second. So going over to the back now, we're going to take a look at the stats and everything. So by the way, I should mention this right away. The M4 does not stand for an evolution. For Turbo, they thought they're going to put a 4 in everything, not to confuse the lineup, I guess. That's their idea, from what I'm able to tell. So, it's just the green layer of Minoboros M2. You got 0 there, which isn't too bad. Then after you got the Slingshock version of Needle, which has 2 in power, 4 in speed. The other stats are 4 attack, 4 burst, 4 defense, 7 weight, 2 agility, 0 stamina. Moving on to Roktavor R4. Stamina type spins to the right, obviously. The force disc is D52. Sadly, this does not come with reach, and I don't know when they're going to do a release for it, since that is the proper frame for it. Also, hilarious how the layer on the 2-pack in the back is transparent, but the actual one is not as transparent as the box is leading on the back. So we've got Wedge-Slingshock, which seems like the bottom part's going to be plastic, and the Slingshock version for Wedge is going to be metal flat, which that'll be interesting. So we got 4 for attack, 6 for weight, 2 for burst, 1 for agility, 2 for defense, 9 for stamina. Slingshock stats are 5 power and 1 for speed. So very interesting for everything, and just to show both. Also, quickly to mention, obviously download the Beyblade Burst app. We'll be showing the QR codes in this video, so stay tuned for that. And we'll be taking a look at these two. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least. So we're going to start off with the regular layer, which is a old dual layer Minoboros M4. The least I can say is that it has, it has some nice stickers on it, I guess. Wait, are those stickers? No. Nice printed patterns on it, I guess. It's green. It looks nice for a dual layer. If this was released in Evolution, I'd be more interested. QR code if you want to scan it right there as the quality clears up. By the way, shout out to Cypress. Yeah, it's fine. It does come with 0, which is a pretty good deal with this 2-pack. And interesting enough, actually, hold on, let me quickly scan this just to show it, because I don't think we ever scanned this. Did we? No. So let's see. This is live scanning, Minoboros M2. So it's very strange how they wanted to go with M4 instead of just M2. I don't know if it was just not confused with the Slingshock line or whatever, but it's M2. I mean, it comes with 0, and I believe that's Needle-Slingshock. I'm just going to double check on here. So, live scanning and everything. So we're going to go to our Bay Locker. Let's see the parts. Yes, it is Needle-Slingshock. I just wanted to make sure. And they have to fix on the app because the 0 disc is not 1. So, going over this stuff, let's go over Needle-Slingshock. So, the usual gimmick with this stuff, and as it shows in the instructions, which actually I have right here. The gimmick with these drivers is that there's always going to be some sort of mode change. So, there'll be a short height at the start, which is our battle ring mode. And then after our Slingshock mode is when we alter that state. So, for this one, you just twist, you turn, and you pull it in. So, that'll be interesting. I mean, the needle on this is very different from the original one. It's a lot more smaller. So if we just pull it up and we twist it, that's it. It's just taller and a little flatter there. It's a little weird. I don't know if this gimmick's going to be able to completely lock in. My issue actually, and Roktavor in this 2-pack actually does some good service for the Slingshock ability. That's how I wish most of the drivers were. But for this, it's alright. Out of 10, I'm going to give this a 6? 6? Maybe? Well, it does come with some nice parts. We'll give it a 7. A solid 7. So let's check out Roktavor. Here we've got Roktavor R4, aka Crash Roktavor. Oh boy, very interesting. So, something that's very weird is that Hasbro did not pair this up with the reach frame it's supposed to have. It's just with 11. But something I do actually like, going to the performance tip real quick, is that the Slingshock ability. So, Wedge is not how the original Takara Tomy one is. The original Wedge is a lot more thinner. It's giant metal. This one's a little bit more thicker. And on the bottom, it's plastic. But look at this. It's on the other side. Look. It becomes flatter. So then you got like a flat wedge. Now, I don't know how effective that's going to be, but I think that's pretty cool. Come on, that is kind of cool. So, with the layer, before I even do comparisons to weight or anything, I do want to point out something that's very weird. So, it has like fake wings on here. Because in the anime, and I can't say this, it's supposed to have wings that come out. And the least I was going to say is, hey, I know it's not going to have any metal, which is fine. But it kind of removed the gimmick with the wings there. Because look, this is the Takara Tomy release. And you can see little metal wings pop out there. It was supposed to be the evolution of R3. It's kind of weird here. I mean, again, no metal is fine. If they're not going to do any metal, that's fine. But at least don't take out the... You could have at least put plastic in there instead of just doing that orange painted thing. But what I can say to anyone who's wondering is, yes, this is... Oh, and by the way, QR code. You're welcome. Level chips do work on this. Level chips, as I've said before, mostly just like a trophy for the Bay, just to show like achievement, I guess. That's what the show is leading on. Sometimes it makes the Bay a little bit, helps it a little bit, but other times it doesn't really help too much. This actually looks very nice on this one. So this is actually pretty easy to pop out, so that's actually pretty good. So what I want to do now is I want to do a weight comparison between these two, and I guarantee it's actually going to be a lot less than half. So let's put our TT layer on the scale. 20, 19, 19, we'll go with 19. Now, let's see our Hasbro. Oh, it's 10. I thought it'd be less because of the metal wings there. It's always 10 with these things, and that's fine. Now, what I am going to do now is actually test out the slopes on this. I want to see how tight this is. So, let's put... Not that bad. It feels decent, but I'll only see when we actually do the performance for this stuff. So, first 2-pack we covered Roktavor and Minoboros. Let's quickly go over the Kerbeus and Gaion. So our next 2-pack, which is Blizzard X Gaion G4 D33, which is 1, and TA12-S, which is Extreme Slingshock. And then after we have the main bay for this one, which is, okay, I'm gonna explain this in a second. It's Hazard, Kerbeus, Heavy, Survive, Slingshock. But in the original Takara Tomy version, it was called Guardian Kerbeus. But in the app, it's called Hazard, so I'm not too sure the weird name change. However, this does look pretty promising. So let's take a quick look at the back. This is an attack type with a stamina type. Quickly go over this. These are the 2 bays right there. By the way, this is a Switch Strike layer, or, you know, it's in the God series. That would be a Switch Strike layer, but it's released in Turbo now. So those are the 2 bays right there, and quickly just show it. Blizzard X Gaion G4 and Kerbeus K4. Now let's go over to the back. So let's go over each of the bays. We'll start from left to right. So Blizzard X Gaion G4. It's not really G4, it's just D2. D33 we have 1. This is an attack type bay, and then after we've got TA12-S, which is Extreme Slingshock. 2 in power, 4 in speed. We've got 9 for attack for this bay, 3 for weight, 2 for burst, 4 for defense, 2 for stamina, 3 for agility. We're then after going to move on to Kerbeus K4 stamina type, D07, which is heavy, just like the original, just not a painted disc. Energy layer, which is Kerbeus, and then after we got TS01-S, which is the Slingshock version of, I believe, Survive. And the Slingshock stats there are 6 for power and 0 for speed. So then after we got our stats, 0 for attack, 7 for weight, 1 for burst, 3 for agility, 4 for defense, 5 for stamina. So Kerbeus, from what I remember in the previous battles I've done with the Takara Tomy version, was a pretty decent lair. I don't remember anything too bad with it. I'm assuming the HASBRO should be the same, maybe even better than the original. But let's check out the two from this packaging. We're going to take a quick. So we've got our lair, which is Gaion G4, which is just really a G2. The lair looks nice. Nice blend of a pearlish white with some blue. Weird green in the middle, but if you want to scan the QR code, there you go. Comes with a 1 disc, forged disc. Not bad. So Extreme is something I actually like. It's so wacky. So this is our battle ring mode, right? And I gotta zoom out a bit just cause, but look, you gotta twist it one of these ways. You gotta twist it, you pull it up, and then look, lock it in. So it's kind of similar to Lunar L4 with its Jolt, which is also kind of funny. It's almost the same color scheme. So look at this. It's a Toll Extreme. That's kind of cool. I like that. So pretty basic overall, but does offer some interesting things, at least with their performance tips. So we're gonna move on to Kerbeus. So here we have Kerbeus K4. HASBRO didn't screw this up at all. Exact same. This is the Takara Tomy version right here. Other than the fact that you can customize the God chips, which is an old thing that everyone knew about. It's the same. It's fine. There's no difference that I can really actually see. Ooh, actually, maybe a small one. Now that I'm looking. Actually, I'm not too sure if I can tell. Is this painted on? No, this has an extra layer, doesn't it? This doesn't, I think this, I can't tell this has an extra layer on it, or if this doesn't have that extra layer and it's just painted. I'm not too sure. That might be an actual difference. Oh yeah, QR code. All right, there you go. Ezekiel's fan 936. Heavy disc. The only difference between this and the Takara Tomy version is that TT just has it gold, but HASBRO doesn't have any of their discs painted as far as I know. So with Survive, this is supposed to be the battle ring mode, right? But how you switch to the Slingshock mode is you move this and it just gets flat. So it's obviously going to be a little bit taller than the original one. So overall, this Kerbeus doesn't look too bad. I do want to point out, however, a small gripe with this stuff is just one thing. It seems with a lot of the bays, and while I do like the turbo line for the innovation of the parts, I don't like the fact that some of the layers are a bit too limiting for the actual features that they have. Alright, we're setting this to grams. TT layer first. It's like 11. This one any less?
1 gram less.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So it's probably this orange part that's inside the layer for the TT. Is that really gonna make a difference? Regardless, out of the two packs we've done so far, I would say my favorite one between the bays, I would rank Roktavor actually first, surprisingly. Second, I think, is going to be the Gaion. Third is the Kerbeus, and fourth is the Minoboros. I mean, let me know your rankings in the comment section below. So what we're going to be doing now, let's first show all the bays in the same row fully assembled. So these are all the bays all together. It's not too bad, but still. And for Roktavor, I will be adding the reach frame for future battles, just not for this video since I want to go with the base stuff. We'll be doing test launch for all of them, then after we'll be doing battles between each of the 2 packs, meaning this against this against that, and I'll try to use all the modes and showcase it to the best of my ability. Later on, we'll make sure to do all the battles that are necessary. First off, Roktavor R4 in its battle ring mode, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. The stamina type is not going to go crazy in the stadium. So, let us stop it. Yep, Slingshock mode, so other side, now it's more flat. I'm going to try to do a slide shot. Slide shoot, I mean. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. So, I still wish it had the wings on it, like the previous one. I do think, actually, with the wedge and everything, it's probably going to be very aggressive in the Slingshock mode to knock out the base pretty quickly. But if the slopes are even good in the battles too, it's actually pretty solid. So next up, we're going to do Minoboros M4. So we'll do it in battle ring mode, then in Slingshock mode. Let's see. This will be interesting. 3, 2, 1, let it whip. Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1, let it whip. It's still pretty aggressive regardless. Yeah, it's a little weird, especially with Needle. Needle's not that aggressive. I think because the ball's so small in the thing and they're trying to adjust it for the Slingshock ability, that's why. So next up, let us do Gaion G4 Extreme. This will be interesting, and the same with Slingshock Mode. I wonder if it's gonna have the right balance it needs. So 3, 2, 1, let it whip. Ah, very nice, very nice, very nice. Not bad. I like that. So now Slingshock Mode. Let us just... I hate the twist in the pull thing. That's Slingshock Mode. If all the bays had the same idea where you just have to hit a tab, then it would have been much easier for any player. So they always do like confusing gimmicks with this. Alright, now in Slingshock Mode, 3, 2, 1, let it whip. There we go. This is actually gonna... I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this. A taller version of Extreme. Wow. So next up, our last big, which is going to be Hazard Kerbeus. It's regarding Kerbeus, but you know. Alright, let's do a test launch. 3, 2, 1, let it whip. Yeah, it's survived the performance tip. Not really expecting all that much. The original one actually did have Revolve, which I don't think I mentioned yet, but I don't think they can make a gimmick out of that, so... We hit the... Oh, okay. Well, that's... Oh, okay, then now... Is it... Yeah, that's weird. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, that's Battle Ring mode. Yeah, make sure you lock it in, because sometimes it'll switch out it by accident, you gotta double check. This is Slingshock mode now. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Alright, next up, battles between the 2 packs. So, Roktavor and Minoboros. I'm interested to see what'll happen. So, both are in Slingshock mode. I'm not sure how I feel about that. We're gonna do a couple of rounds with this stuff, so let me get the needle on that. Yeah, needle, a lot of this stuff, in all the rounds, which is the only thing I really don't like so far, is that it's a little annoying that every round you gotta put it back to double check. With this one, it's perfectly fine with the wedge. It's an easy gimmick to get. It did burst it, but I don't know if that's really that impressive. It's like a dual layer. So 3, 2, 1, rip. Rip. Ride the rails. I like this. Oh, Roktavor, don't be on the... I hope it's not gonna follow its predecessor of Takara Tomy and just lose instantly. So now we're both in Battle Ring mode for this stuff, so... I think the reach frame would have helped it a bit. Just a bit. That's nice. One more. Whoa! Alright, buddy, if you want to do that, waiting it out, I see. It got stuck on the top there, it waited it out, then it came back in. Alright, so now we're going to be doing Kerbeus and Gaion G2. So Gaion G2, I gotta make sure it's locked in. This is the same issue I have with Jolt and even Volcanic. I don't think the locking in really works all that much, but we'll see during these battles. Did it slide back in? It did. Whatever, same with Jolt. I'm gonna keep it in the Battle Ring mode, I guess. Not that much of a difference. It still rides the rails. These bays, I mean, I don't know. At the end, we're gonna make your battle against their counterparts, TT, but 1 round only. Oh, 2 rounds for Slingshok mode, but full battle. Oh, okay. All right. Let's put survive in its battle ring mode. Yeah, quick session between the original and both modes to see what'll happen. If this beats, I had a bet with my father. I said this will lose to TT. He says the other way around. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Hashtag HASBRO for the win. We'll see. This is a battle ring mode. Not really that bad. It's just a lot weaker because of the weight.
Put on Slingshock Mode. You'll see the difference.
Ah!
That was a bad match.
You want to know what? Hey, you want to know what? I didn't test it out against any Switch Rec or anything like that, but it did beat the Takara Tomy version. That's always a... Hey, whatever. Bats or whatever, you gotta admit, that's still pretty nice. That is still pretty nice. Ooh, no. Because with these ones, the Jizetsu ones, they can't really ride the rails. Roktavor R4 is god tier! Yo, low-key, if this actually beats all Jizetsu, that's sweet. So, next up, yeah, well, that'll be another video, don't worry. Next up, these two, and I will put the Revolve for 1 more round, so technically this one gets 3 rounds. Lucky one. Slingshock mode first, I guess. Hazard versus Guardian. Why'd they call it Hazard in the app? That's so, isn't that weird? That's a bit weird.
Okay, I'll go for a coffee, I'll come back. Bursted.
This is not what I actually. This was actually one, not a click, but it was like 1 push away from bursting. That would have been a double burst. I'm gonna launch the other one first because I don't want this in my video. No. What? Hello? Nani? Slopes are helping us out.
HASBRO for the win.
What a world, eh? What a world. Is my life turning upside down? Limiting the gimmicks actually helps these bays?
Yes.
Oh. Alright, revolve on revolve. So, HASBRO, you go first. No, you've been on a winning streak. TT. Now, it's on even grounds. Both the same combo. No, is it? Okay, I was about to say, it's not actually, you wanna know what? In all honesty, this is better than I expected. I did think these bays were gonna be limited for sure. It's not that bad, so out of 10, what would you give this so far? Now, if we're going solely on the other facts, like no wings, no metal, yeah, I would maybe put it at 6 or whatever, but performance so far against Takara Tomy counterparts is not too bad, and I think these new performance tips offers a nice meta for the HASBRO stuff. I would say for the future though, please, I would love a re-release maybe with the red gimmick for this stuff, but it's not too bad for what we have for right now. I think if it's like, this is what I said before, if it's decent, not too bad with the slopes and everything, it'll do good. And the same with the other bays too. I think this is nice, but I do have to say the Slingshock gimmicks have to have a better lock-in mechanic for this stuff, because sometimes it's not really 100%. But for now, I want this video, because it's turbo, and because it's awesome, 3 likes. I know, that's a lot to ask for. Hey, I showed the QR codes. Well, don't worry. Next video, is, well, next video is another 2-pack video, but stay tuned for more. So like the video, share with your friends, comment actually what was your favorite 2-pack in this video, and as always, have an awesome, have an amazing burst-filled day.